Okay, good evening, everyone. So, welcome back to the session. So, in last class, we have seen Maven, right? So, how many of you practiced Maven? Out of 44 members, huh? Okay. Guys, I'm telling you, if you if you're not gonna practice the concepts now, so it's gonna be very, very difficult for you to catch up. Okay. So please try to be up to the rate. So from today's session, we are going to start the concept of Jenkins. Okay. Mm, First of all, I'll create a server. So then we can start the session. So it's a normal server, but after some time it is going to become as continuous integration server. Okay. So let me start the presentation now. Kiran, I already intimate this to the Praveen. He said the people who have filled the Google Classroom, so they have got the access. Can you please let me know, like, is your Google Classroom done with filling or not? And a couple of minutes ago, like, I updated him. So please try to queue the access for the people who have done the enrollment. Give me a second. I'll call him right away. Mm, Okay, online. Basically, like what the admin is saying is he is giving the access who have filled the sheet actually, but some of the people haven't filled the sheet. The people who haven't filled the sheet, like, they are not getting any kind of access. He is saying that he is giving for the people who have done the Google Classroom filling, but you are saying here like we fill, but we are not getting any kind of access. Okay, do one thing. The people who haven't got the Google Classroom access after filling, do one thing. Drop your emails here. Okay, I'll copy it and I'll send it to them. He will cross verify. If you fill it, you are going to get it. Otherwise, like it's not going to get for you. Drop your emails here, guys. So please cross check like after filling couple of times. Okay. Fine. So we can start session for today. So in today's session, we are going to speak about the concept of Jenkins. So before I proceed, like can anyone tell me what is Jenkins and why we need to use it? Jenkins is a CA/CD tool. Okay, the most common answer. What is CA and what is CD? Can anyone tell me? CA stand for continuous integration. Okay, then CD stand for continuous deployment. Sure. No, I'm asking like CD is for continuous deployment. You are saying like I'm asking like is the answer correct? Sure. Continuous delivery or deployment. Both. Hmm. Let's see. Okay. So basically, as per your words, so Jenkins is a CA/CD tool actually. So CA stand for continuous integration and CD stand for continuous delivery and deployment. Basically, CD will be having two type of options. One is continuous delivery, second one will be continuous deployment. So there is only one small difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Fine. So I'll explain like what are the differences here. Sir, basically what exactly the meaning of continuous integration is? Continuous build plus continuous test. Fine. So here, if you go and check, let me open the notes for you and I'll write the notes for you. So whenever if you go for interview, so Jenkins, you are going to say the answer as it says CA tool, correct or not, sir? But if you say that, the answer will be going as wrong answer. Which answer? The answer is wrong. I'll tell you why it is wrong. Where is our class notes? See, generally, as per if you go for the Google definition, Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. But in reality, Jenkins is not used for continuous delivery, okay, or deployment. It's only for continuous integration tool only. First one, what you are seeing is myth. But second one, what you are seeing is fact. Is a point clear for you? So Jenkins is a CI tool. Which tool? Why? Because if I want to do continuous delivery from Jenkins, we are having lot of limitations. Okay, I'll tell what are the limitations here. First of all, what is the meaning of continuous integration? Guys, continuous integration means continuous build plus continuous. For example, let's see, developer gave 100 lines of code in day one. You know how to build it, how to test it, right? Again, the developer 2 has given some other lines extra on day 2. Now again, if 200 lines I build and test, that is what I can call as continuous integration. Again in day 3, he is giving some 100 lines of code. Again, if I combine old code with my new code, then that is what I can call as continuous integration. Simple meaning of continuous integration means continuous build plus continuous test. What you are building and testing old code with new code. In day 1, if I have 100 lines of code, I'll build it and I'll test it. But again in day 2, along with that 100 lines of code, I'll add extra 100 lines of code. Now totally number of lines will be 200. And again in day 3, it is going to become as 300. Like this, if I combine my old code with today's code, if I build them, if I test them, then that is what we can call as continuous integration. So is the continuous integration clear for all of you know? Tell me what is continuous integration? Continuous build plus continuous test. What you are continuously building and testing? Old code with the new code. Fine. So before continuous integration, everything will be a manual process. and we have a lot of time wastage. I'll explain with the diagram here if you can go ahead and see. Sir, before continuous integration, what happened, you know? See, how many developers you are seeing here? 4 developers. Let's say developer 1 has given the source code on day 1. Okay. And developer 2 has given the source code on day 2. Developer 3 on day 3 and developer 4 on day 4. So GitHub got the entire code at day 4. Now in the day 5, we send the code for the integration process. Integration means what? Adding. So in day 6, again, the whole code came for the testing process. Okay. Now in day 7, we found a bug. At which day we found a bug? So the bug is from developer 1 code. Bug is from which code? Now you tell me developer gave the code on day 1, but he found the bug on which day? That means remaining 6 days are completely waste of time or not, sir? For example, if developer give the code on day 1 and tester found the bug on day 1, these 6 days are going to save or not, sir? That is the very big disadvantage of before continuous integration. Before continuous integration, if you go and check, everything will be manual process. Here you can go and see integration is doing on one place and testing is doing on another place. Everything is manual. Second thing, here we are wasting a lot of time. Why? Because integration is done by some other team and testing is done by some other team. So there is no communication between them. So automatically the time is going to be wasted. So this is what exactly that happened before continuous integration. So before continuous integration, here the whole process will be manual process. And here we are having lot of time wastage. But after continuous integration, the process is completely automated and we are having lot of time saving. Why? Because if you can go and see in the diagram here, in the diagram it is visually represented after continuous integration. Okay, you can go and see integration and testing will be done by a server. That means there we have the humans to perform the operation, but here the same operation we are performing with the help of the server. This is which server here? CA server. So in this CA server, whatever the code we get from developers to GitHub, I'll take the code, I'll build it, and I'm gonna test it. Now here, the server is making the building and testing process instead of human. First of all, is it automated or not, sir? Second thing, we can build and test within the next second of getting the code only. But there in the scenario 1, if we get code, the next day only you are going to send to the integration. But here the next second you can do the building and testing process. So this is what exactly we can call it as continuous integration. Again, I'll explain one more time for all of you. So continuous integration means continuous build plus continuous what you are building and testing old code with new code. In day 1, I have 100 lines of code. I can build it and I can. In day 2, if I add 100 lines of code, it will become 200 lines. Now again, old code, new code, I'm going to build in. Day 3 also same thing. Okay. So before continuous integration, everything will be manual process and we are having lot of time wastage. But after continuous integration, the entire process will be automated. Why? Because here we are replacing the humans with the servers and we are going to save a lot of time. So this is the overview about the continuous integration. So is the concept of continuous integration clear for all of you now? Online, can you please confirm me, is the concept of continuous integration clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in chat box? Okay, fine. Sir, okay, sir, you said about continuous integration. That was very clear. But coming to the second point here, CD stand for continuous deployment. Correct or not, sir? So now if you go and see, in the CD, we have continuous delivery and continuous deployment. So let's understand what is the meaning of continuous delivery and continuous deployment. See, before you go and understand what is continuous delivery and deployment, let's understand what are the environments actually. Guys, if you go and work on real time, there will be majorly two type of environments. How many environments? One is pre-prod, second one is prod. Pre-prod can also be called as non-prod, and prod can also be called as live environment. But here again, only two type of and prod. Pre-prod can also be called as non-prod, and prod can also be called as live environment. Sir, in pre-prod environment, we have dev environment, we have QA environment, we have UAT environment. But in prod, we have only one environment, that is called as prod environment only. See, in real time, in the dev environment, developers will have a server. They will install the application there and they will check the application. If application is working very fine, now we are going to install the application into the QA environment. Which environment? In QA environment, who is going to see the application means testers. If they are satisfied, then we gonna install the application to UAT environment. Which environment? So in UAT environments, client will check the application. It is working fine or not. If clients are satisfied, then finally we are going to deliver to the prod. In prod, who is going to use the application? User. This is how the environments are going to work. Again, how many type of environments we are having? Two. First one is pre-prod or non-prod. Second one is prod or live environment. In pre-prod, how many categories we are having? Three. Developing environment, QA, UAT. In developing environment, who will use the application? In QA environment, who will use the application? Testers. In UAT, clients. And finally, in production, who will use the application? Users. To make this clear for all of you, I'll just go with the smallest example here. You can ask me, sir, directly we can go and install the application in production. Why we need to maintain developing QA and UAT environments? You might get a doubt. So the people who haven't worked in the real time, this kind of queries will be common. But I'll ask you a small question. For example, let's go back to the chicken biryani process. In the last class, we prepared the chicken biryani or not, sir? Okay, we prepare the chicken biryani. For example, your relatives comes to your home. You prepare the chicken biryani. First of all, what you do? First of all, you are going to check the chicken biryani ingredients and everything is good or not. If you check with yourself, then you are going to call your mummy. So she is gonna check. If she is satisfied, then you are going to call to your father and you are gonna ask him to taste it. If your father is also satisfied, then finally you are going to serve to the relatives. Correct or not, sir? What happen if you prepare the chicken biryani? You haven't seen the taste and everything. You directly go and serve to the relatives. What will happen? They won't come to your home again. Correct or not, sir? So here also, basically, if I directly create the application and if I deploy in production, so if user get any kind of issue, they won't use this application anymore. Why? Because you tell me, you install the application, a game, for example, but the game is not working properly. After uninstalling that, are you going to install it one more time? That is the reason. So companies are gonna check the performance of application in different environments. First one will be developing environment. Developers will have a own server. We will install the application on the dev environment and ask developer to check it. Like developer server means they can check with their local laptop also. No need to have the server. Even they can check on their local device also. And in QA environment, again, as a DevOps engineer, we install the application on the QA environment. Here, tester will check the application. If tester is satisfied, then in UAT environment, as a DevOps engineer, we install the application and we're gonna ask clients to check the application. And if everything is done, finally, we are going to have the live environment. Okay, there in the production environment, we're gonna deploy the application and this application is gonna be used by the users. So this is the process. Developing QA, UAT and prod. But in some companies, we have the environment called staging environment also. Staging environment can be called as before production environment. Okay. There will be environment called beta environment, staging. There are a lot of names we can see in the live. But the common and the fixed values are dev, QA, UAT and prod. Fine. Acha sir, like our concept is about continuous delivery and deployment, right? But why we are learning about the environment means, see, this environment is linked to the continuous delivery and deployment process. Guys, if you talk about continuous delivery, it is nothing but deploying the application to production in manual. For example, if you deploy the application to production in a manual process, that is what we can call as continuous delivery. No sir, if I deploy the application to production in automatic way, then that is called as deployment. This is the only difference between continuous delivery and deployment. Delivery is a manual process, but whereas deployment is a automatic. Again, deploying the application to production in manual way, that is called as continuous delivery. Deploying the application to production in automatic way, that is called as continuous deployment. So is the difference between delivery versus deployment clear for all of you? Know online, can you please confirm is the difference between delivery and deployment clear for all of you or not? I'll tell you Bona what is the meaning of manual and automation. Okay, fine. Okay, we have seen about CA/CD now. Now tell me what is CA? Continuous integration means continuous build plus continuous what you are building and testing. Old code with new code. Correct. What is continuous delivery? Hey, don't say simply manual automation. Okay, tell me the full sentence. Deploying the application to production in manual, that is continuous delivery. But deployment means deploying the application to production in automatic. So that is the difference of continuous delivery versus deployment. Okay, sir, fine. You said about CA and CD, but here now my question is, if I want to create CA/CD, what I need to have is I need to have a pipeline. What I need to have? This is the definition what you need to understand. Guys, if you go to Google, there are some hundreds of definition. But I'm telling you one thing. In our classes, we are never going to learn the Google definition. That's for damn sure. Why? Because I'll tell you the small example here. You can understand. If I go to Google and if I ask, what is continuous integration? So Google is going to tell some definition for you. Try to read this definition and tell me like what you understand. So I'll be directly opening the official website of AWS and see. Read this one for me. Have you read that one? Then what you understand? Nothing, I know. That is the reason I won't go for Google definitions. And even I'll go for a continuous delivery also. Let me show you what is continuous delivery. Okay. If I go to this one and if I click on this, now see what it is telling. Again, continuous delivery. Again, read this one for 1 minute. So कुछ तो समझ में है? No, right? That is the reason I never go for Google definition. Guys, if you see this definition and if you see my definition, at the end of the day, both will be having the same meaning. Okay. Definition means no need to have the multiple lines. Okay. Whenever if you go for interview, they won't expect Google definition from you. They'll expect the understanding, how much you are able to understand the concept and how you are able to explain to them. Okay. The first point I'm telling for all of you is in our classes, we are not going to learn the Google definition. Why? Because Google definitions are not going to be helpful for you. If I give a definition, if you by heart it, if you go and tell on interview, they ask you to explain the definition. If you can't explain, then what will happen? Completely waste or not, sir? That is the reason I am going to give the stuff on the short and sweet manner for you. Okay, fine. So now same like here, if you are going to speak about the concept of pipeline here, sir, what is the meaning of pipeline? Pipeline means step-by-step execution of a process or series of events interlinked with. So before going and explain in the real world, let's like real time, let's go for real world example. Sir, your ultimate goal is to come to the class today. What is your ultimate goal? But before coming to the class, you need to do your lunch or not, sir? Before doing lunch, you need to do the breakfast. But before going for breakfast, you need to perform your, that means like taking the bath as well as like brushing, of course, which is optional for some people, but okay, fine. Huh? Now, before going for daily activities, now you are going to wake up. That means, see, here if you see this process, is it step by step implemented or not, sir? Same like in real time also, our ultimate goal is to do the deployment. What is our ultimate goal? But if you want to do the deployment, you need to create a artifact. But if you want to create an artifact, you need to do the testing. Without testing, how can you get the artifact, sir? It's not possible. Before testing, you need to do the compiling. But before compiling, what you need to have? This is the exact meaning of pipeline. Pipeline means step-by-step executing of a process. Here, my process is deployment. But if you can see, taking the code, compiling, testing, artifact is going to be a step-by-step process or not, sir? And the other meaning of pipeline is going to be series of events interlinked with each other. It is the other alternative for your pipeline definition. So either you can tell step-by-step executing of a process, or you can tell series of events interlinked with each other. If in interview, if they ask you to explain what is the pipeline, tell them, sir, initially developer give the code. So we need to take the code from GitHub with the help of Maven. We can compile, we can test, we can generate the artifact, and whatever the artifact we got, that artifact we're going to deploy into the production server. This is what we can call as the pipeline. Okay. So this small definition can cover the entire Google definition for you. That is the reason what you are going to learn will be the practical learning here. So is the definition of pipeline clear for all of you know? Tell me what is pipeline? Step by step executing of a process or series of events interlinked with each other. Sir, here now my question is why we need to use pipeline? That's what the question. If you want to do the continuous integration, or if you want to do the continuous delivery or deployment, you need to do with the help of pipeline only. How you can do? Pipeline. Okay, sir, to do the CI or continuous delivery or continuous deployment, you need to have the pipeline. Okay, Acha, what is pipeline here? It's the step-by-step executing of a process or series of events interlinked with. Okay, sir, fine. But if I want to get the pipeline, how can I get the pipeline? With the help of the tool call. That means practically till now I haven't said about what is Jenkins. Till now I said about what Jenkins can do. Till now we discussed what Jenkins can do. Jenkins can do the CI process, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. All of them are going to be done by through the pipeline. But if you want to create a pipeline, which tool you need to have? Now let's speak about Jenkins. But before I go and speak about Jenkins, is CI, CD, and pipeline clear for all of you? Everybody. Online, can you please confirm are these three steps: continuous integration, delivery and deployment, and pipeline clear for all of you or not? If it is clear, I am going to explain Jenkins intro for all of you. Akhil, how the delivery works? So you need to wait for some time, Akhil. Okay. It will take at least a couple of days for you to understand. Till now, we are in the basic part only. So don't worry about it as of now. I'm going to show you the difference of delivery and deployment in a practical way. Fine. So next here, guys. So if we speak about Jenkins, of course, what is the common two lines in the DevOps tools? It's a free and open source and it is a platform, independent, no matter which tool you are explaining. First two lines are common. And what is the third line? It's a very important tool in the correct. So these two lines will be the common. And coming to the Jenkins point here, so Jenkins is written on the Java programming language. Which programming? So it consists of plugins. What is a plugin? Already we discussed. Instead of downloading the tool, we can install the plugin to do the work actually. So here Jenkins will have the community support. What exactly the meaning of community support means? I'll explain. Guys, in DevOps, we are having only few tools which is having the community support. What is the meaning of community support means? I'll tell you the smallest example. For example, I create a Jenkins tool. Okay, I create the Jenkins tool. But all of you love the Jenkins tool. Okay, you have very passion about it. So initially I create the tool, but among one of you has interest to develop the Jenkins. So one of you added the new feature to the Jenkins. That means you can take my code, you can develop the Jenkins feature and you can give to the people also. That is what we can call as community support. Which one? Community support means the people from outside of the organization can implement the new features to the Jenkins. And if any issue is coming to the Jenkins server, these people can find the solution and these people can give the solution for the Jenkins itself. So is the meaning of community support clear for all of you? And again, this community support is not having for all the tools. It will be only limited to few tools in DevOps. The best community support in the entire DevOps history is for Kubernetes tool. Kubernetes is having very large community support. Okay. Like that. So with the help of the Jenkins, we can automate the entire SDLC. Can anyone tell me what is the SDLC steps we are having? No, I'm asking the steps. Tell me 7 steps. What are those? Plan, code, build, test, deploy, operate, monitor. So this Jenkins can automate the entire stages from planning to deploying the application. It can monitor the entire stages. Basically, this Jenkins was owned by the company called Sun Microsystem. Which one? Sun Microsystem. But initially, this tool was named as Hudson. Which one? But later it was, initially it was a paid tool, but later it was bought by the Oracle and made the Hudson as free. But later the Hudson tool was renamed as Jenkins. That means initially when this tool is with the Sun Microsystem, the name was Hudson, but it is a paid version actually. But Oracle has taken the Hudson from the Sun Microsystem and they made it as free and open source. But later, after making it as free and open source, later the Hudson was renamed as Jenkins. So this is the history about the Jenkins actually. And coming to the inventor, the person who invented the Jenkins tool is he. Can anyone tell me what is the name of this person? Kosuke Kawaguchi. I'll show him. Wait, actually. If you go to our presentation part, in the presentation, you can see it here. Wait. Are you seeing this man? Looks like a Dongli from 7th Sense, but not like, okay. So he's the person who invented the tool for the Jenkins actually. So guys, Kosuke Kawaguchi was a developer in the Sun Microsystem. He was very passionate about the Java. At that time, he has an idea to develop the Jenkins tool. Why? Because he want to automate the entire process of building and testing. Okay. So he worked hard for some years and then finally he launched the Jenkins. But the initial name was Hudson only. Okay. He was the inventor. Of course, it is not going to be an interview question, but I'm just telling for your knowledge purpose. So this tool was invented by the Kosuke Kawaguchi. Okay. And the port number of the tool is going to be, that means in your server, if you have port number 8080, then only this tool will work. Or otherwise it is not going to work. I think all of you know how to give all traffic, right? If you give all traffic, in all traffic, we have port number 8080 or not, sir? Yes. And coming to the Java version, so currently we have Java 11 as well as Java 17 as the supporting version of the Jenkins. And the home path for Maven is M2, you know. And the home path of Git is going to be .git. But the home path of Jenkins is going to be varlib Jenkins. Which one? That means all your Jenkins configuration, everything will be storing on the folder called var lib Jenkins. That's it. Again, I'll explain one more time for you. So it's a free and open source like tool, and it is a platform independent, which is written on the Java. It consists of a lot of plugins, and we have the community support. So it can automate the entire HDLC process. It was initially owned by the Sun Microsystem as a name of Hudson, but Hudson was a paid version. Later, Oracle bought the Hudson and make it as free. And later they have changed the name to the Jenkins. Kosuke Kawaguchi is the person who invented the Jenkins tool for us, and the port number of Jenkins is gonna be the current supported version of Jenkins for Java is gonna be 11 and 17. But for Maven, what is the version? 1.8.0. Guys, these versions will change. For every 6 months, the new versions will comes into the market. Okay, don't worry about them. And coming to the default path of Jenkins is gonna be varlib Jenkins. Correct. Sir, if not Jenkins, what are the other alternative tools we can use in the market actually? Okay. Sir, if not Jenkins, there are some hell lot of tools in the market. Let me tell them. Bamboo, Go CA, Circle CA, Tarvis, Semaphore, Buddy Bill Master, GitLab, Harness, Argo CD. All these will be coming on the alternative for the Jenkins. But in cloud platform also, we have the alternate service for the Jenkins. What are those means? In cloud platform, in AWS, we have AWS code pipeline. In Azure, we have Azure pipeline. In GCP also, we have the GCP pipelines. Okay. So there are some alternative tools as well as alternative service for the cloud. But remember, whichever tool you are going to use, at the end of the day, the common process is going to be same. What is the common process? Taking the code, building it, deploying. That's it. This will remain common for every of the tool. It doesn't matter which tool you are using, but the process is gonna be code, compile, test, artifact, deploy. That's it. Is it clear for all of you? Know? In interview, they will ask you what are the other alternative for Jenkins. Now, what are you gonna tell them? Bamboo, Go CA, Circle CA, Tarvis, Semaphore, Buddy Bill Master, GitLab. Any 3 to 4 is enough, but I'm giving lot of examples, but 3 to 4 will be enough. And coming to the cloud alternatives, what are the cloud alternatives we are having? AWS code pipeline and Azure pipeline. Clear now? Of course, for every of the cloud, we are having different services. For GCP, have for some service, and we have DigitalOcean, we have Alibaba Cloud. So depending upon the cloud, this service is also going to be changed for you. Fine. So is the theoretical part clear for all of you? Know what is CA, what is CD, what is pipeline, and what is Jenkins? So if it is clear, now we can go ahead and we can start working with the Jenkins server. So guys, already I have created a EC2 instance with the all traffic. What I have given? But if you don't know how to give all traffic, I'll show you one more time. So please listen very carefully. Giving all traffic will be very easy. If you click on edit here, instead of SSH, okay, in the drop down put all traffic. That's it. Okay. But already I have created a server like at the starting of session. So I'm using this server now. Let me connect to the Mobaxterm and start installing the Jenkins. So guys, to install any tool in the DevOps, we have two methods. One is manual, second one is automated. So I'm going to tell you both. As a day one, today I'm going to show you how to install manually. In the next session, I'm going to show it how to install on automatic way. So let me go to the desktop keypad. I'll connect to the terminal here. So it is my server here. So if you go to the setup here, I have given the step-by-step process. First of all, create an EC2 instance. including all traffic in the, again, I'm telling you, if you don't give all traffic or port number 8080, it is not going to work for you. Okay. So step number 1 is installing Git, Java and Maven. So Git is to get the code. Java 1.8.0 is a dependency for the Maven, and Maven is to build and test the code. So let me install them first of all. Tell me the command to install all of them. Yum install Git Java hyphen 1.8.0 hyphen open JDK. It's not dot, it is hyphen open JDK. Next Maven hyphen Y. Fine. So it is my step number 1. So guys, after installing, check the version of Maven, MVN hyphen V. Why? Because already said you for Maven, we need to have the Java version 1.8. If you don't have this version, if you have some other version, your build will be failed. Okay. Step number 1 is done. Already we seen in the last class. Now in step number 2, we are going to download the repository. What we gonna download? Sir, if you go to the jenkins.io, go to the Google and type here jenkins.io. It is the official documentation of Jenkins. Okay. If you go to here in the download section, you can go and check the version. So currently here we are using the Amazon Linux. So you can select on this red hat. If you select on this, are using the first 2 commands. First one is gonna be the repository. Second one is gonna be the key for the repository. So this both key and repository you are going to download to your server. Otherwise, some features of Jenkins are not going to be worked. Okay. So this is going to be maintained by Jenkins. Simply you can go and copy them and paste them. Already both I have given in your notes here. See, go to jenkins.io, go for download section, select whatever the repository and key you are going to see there, you need to download them. Why? Because if you don't download, some of the Jenkins plugins and functionalities are not going to work for you. That is my step number 2. Again, I'll show you. So go to the browser, type here what? Jenkins.io. Correct. Next, download. Here you need to go and select Red Hat. Are you seeing both of them here? Copy paste. For example, if you want to download on Ubuntu or Debian systems, so click on this link. You will be getting some other key and some other repository. Okay, like that. So step number 1 is what here? Installing Git, Java and Maven. Step number 2 is downloading the repo. Is the step number 1 and 2 clear for all of you? No? Online, can you please confirm is step number 1 and 2 clear for all of you or not? Fine. Okay, sir. Next in the step number 3, we gonna download Java 11 and Jenkins. You can ask me, sir, already we are having Java 1.8.0. Already what we are having? Java 1.8.0. But now my question is, why we need to download Java 11? Why? Because if you go and see here, Jenkins is supporting which version of Java? 11 or 17. Here I am taking 11. But of course, you can take 17 also. That's completely fine. But here you can ask me, already Java 1.8.0 is there now. This is for Maven. For Maven, Java 1.8.0. But for Jenkins, we need to use Java 11. Few years ago, both Jenkins and Maven are using Java 1.8.0 only. Few years ago. But remember, for every 6 months, the new version is gonna be changed. For example, currently for Jenkins, it is 11. In future, it can become some other version. Currently for Maven, it is 1.8.0. In future, it can become to some other version. These Java versions are not going to be fixed. It is gonna be changed in the upcoming days. So the command to install Java 11 in our server will be Amazon Linux extras install Java OpenJDK 11. Here yum install will not work, guys. Okay, to install Java 11 we need to use Amazon Linux extras. Generally to install any of the package we use M, but for Java 11 we need to use Amazon Linux extras. Correct. So let me go in, let me install it. Go here, Amazon Linux extras. Just use tab, okay? Just to type first two letters and use tab. So I'm installing here Java Open JDK 11-y. So now here Java 11 version is going to be downloaded. And again, in real time, you are not going to do it manually. I'm going to give a script. That script will take care of it. But before making anything automate, first of all, you need to understand manual. If you can't understand manual method, automation will be very, very difficult for you to understand. So next here, give the command, clear the screen, give the command yum install jenkins -y. Already Jenkins supporting version Java 11 is there. Now install Jenkins. So you can see Jenkins is downloading now. That is what I have done here. So Amazon Linux extras install Java-OpenJDK 11 is to download Java 11 for the Jenkins. And to download Jenkins, yum install Jenkins-y. So now I'll ask you a question. Listen to the question very careful and tell me the answer. How many versions of Java we are having currently? Two. What are those? 1.8 point and second one Java 11. Okay. So 1.8.0 is for which tool? And 11 is for which version of Java we installed first? 1.8.0, right? So if I go here and give the command Java-version, currently which version of Java is there? But sir, to work with Jenkins server, which version of Java you want? But current version is 1.8 point. So remember, basically whenever you are having multiple versions of Java in your server, which version you installed first, that version will be the default. But currently 1.8.0 is working. But for me, which version of Java is required? That means I need to switch from 1.8.0 to 11 or not, sir? So how can you switch from one version of Java to another version of Java? There is a command called update alternatives -config Java. That's it. If you give this command, hit enter. See, for Java 1.8.0, what is the number here? Are you seeing star? That's the current version. But for Java 11, what is the number here? Select 2 here. If I select 2, my Java 11 will come. Go ahead and check here. Currently, what is the version here? 11. Sir, again from 11 to 1.8.0, if I want to go back, again, what is the command? Tell me the command, all of you. Update -alter. Just use tab, okay? -, config Java. So if I hit enter, so again it give the prompt actually. So currently plus is for 2. That means currently I am on 11 version. So if I want to go back to 1.8.0, which one I need to give? 1. But here currently we need to switch to the version of 11 only. So I am selecting here 2. Go ahead and check now. What is the current version of Java here? 11. Why I am going for 11? Why? Because Jenkins support only Java 11. So is the command of switching, like is the concept of switching from one Java to another Java clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm me? Is the command clear for all of you or not? Update alternatives config Java. Okay, again in step number 2, why we are downloading Red Hat? Why? Because Amazon Linux will become will belong to the Red Hat family. Okay, that's it. Fine. So now the last step will comes into the action, that is restarting the Jenkins. Guys, Jenkins is a service. Jenkins is a Remember the note point. All of you write the note point. I'll tell some note points, write them on index page. Why? Because these are main bullet points you need to keep in the mind all the times. You can write them on index page or you can write them at like back of the book also. Okay. Write the note point. When we download any service, when we download any service, I mean, if you don't have any books, you can update this on the mobile also. In mobile, we have the notes application. You can go and write, okay? Because it's very important point. When we download any service, by default, the service will be on stopped state. When we download any service, by default, the service will be on stopped state. Which state? So we need to start them. So we need to start them by using start or restart, anything is fine. Okay. We need to start them by using systemctl command. Which command? Systemctl. Again, I'm repeating one more time. By default, whenever we download any service, by default, it will be on which state? Stopper state. Correct or not, sir? So if you want to start them, what we gonna do? We need to restart them by using systemctl command. Which command? That's it. So now tell me, Jenkins is a service. So I download the service. That means by default, it will be on which state? Stopper state. Let me show you the status. Use the command systemctl status Jenkins. Currently, it is on which state here? Inactive. Which one? So if I want to start them, use the command systemctl start or restart. Anything will be fine. I'm using start here. So now I'm starting the service. Once it is started, now you can go and check the status. I mean, status is very, very optional, but I'll be showing for your clarity only. So it will take some time to load actually. Wait for it. So now the service is started. If you want to make sure it is running or not, give the command systemctl status Jenkins. Just use JEN tab. Automatically Jenkins.service will come. Currently it is on which status here? Active. You can see Jenkins service is running, but Jenkins is which server here? It's a continuous integration. Now tell me, is Jenkins CI/CD tool or only CA tool? You are seeing it practically or not, sir? Why? Because for CD we have some limitations. I'll tell what are the limitations in the later part of the session. Okay, fine. So now here my service is running. So this is the setup what we're gonna follow. But here almost all we spend 15 to 10 minutes to do the setup. But with the help of our script, we can do it within only 1 minute. How many minutes? But that is automated process which you are going to learn in upcoming days. But for today, you need to learn the manual. Why? Because I'm telling you one more time, without learning the manual process, you cannot understand the automation. That is for damn sure. Okay. So definitely I'm going to teach you both manual and automation. So again, I'll explain the whole concept for one more time, how to create this like a Jenkins server here. So just go and check here. So step number 1 is installing the Git Java 1.8.0 Maven. Step number 2 is downloading the repo. Go to jenkins.io, select download and select. Why Red Hat means our Amazon Linux will be based upon the Red Hat flavor only. Step number 3 is downloading Java 11 and Jenkins. Java 11 is a supporting version of Jenkins. And after downloading the Jenkins, you need to run the command update alternatives config Java. Why we are running that command? To switch from one Java version to another. And step number 4 is nothing but restarting the Jenkins. So already you know, whenever we download any service, by default service will be on which state? So we need to start them by using systemctl. Which one? Correct. So now your service is running. So next step is nothing but connecting to the service. Sir, if you want to connect here, I have given the step-by-step process. Copy the public IP address of your server and give the port number 8080 on the browser. So I'll copy the public IP address, paste it on the browser with :8080. Couple of the mistakes. What exactly you are going to do here is I'll explain the mistakes also. Please don't repeat these mistakes in the practice. First mistake will be here some people will not give colon. Some people will give semicolon. Some people will give slash. If you don't give colon, it is not going to work. See, I'm not going to give here colon. Is it working now? It won't work. It will try to give some other information. Okay. That is the first mistake. But if I give colon 8080, am I going to get the Jenkins or not, sir? Am I getting it or not? So please specify the colon. Okay. In between the public IP address and port number, you definitely need to give the colon. That is the first mistake all of you are going to do. And what is the second mistake, you know? After seeing this node, what some people will do is, you know, some people will directly copy all of this. And here they are seeing browser now. They'll go to the browser and they are going to paste it like this, straightly. Definitely I'm telling now, if I don't tell this one or two might be doing the same thing. Okay, guys. Here I clearly mentioned give your public IP address. But what you are doing, you are copying whatever I'm writing there. Okay, so please don't do this mistake. That's it. So now if you can go and see, here I can be able to see something here. If you can go and see, unlock the Jenkins. Can anyone read this for me and tell me what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of that word? That means if you want to set up your Jenkins in a safe and secure way, there is some password written on this below file. Copy this path, give the command called cat and this path. Directly you can see some password. Are you seeing the password here? Copy the password. Just see, copy means just double tap on it. With the help of mouse, if you double tap on it, automatically it is gonna be copied and paste it here. Now automatically you can be able to see your Jenkins server is logging. So click on install suggested plugins. Click on this one. So now automatically my plugins are downloading. Are you seeing the plugins here? And in interview, they are going to ask you question. Tell me some of the plugins for Jenkins. Ant is one of the plugin. Gradle is one of the plugin. Pipeline is one of the plugin. Okay. As well as LDAP and Git. So these are some of the default plugins for the Jenkins. So in interview, they are going to ask this question. So Ant, Maven, Git, Pipeline, LDAP. So tell any 3 to 4 plugins. So now after installing this Jenkins here, see, I have given the step-by-step process. Copy the public IP address and give this command in the server and copy paste the password and enter into the browser. Click on installing the plugin. So here we need to give what here now? User details. So here I'm using my details, Raham. Of course, I'm using some dummy details here. No need to give your original details. Email address raham@gmail.com. After giving this one, click on save and continue. Click on save and finish. And finally, click on start using. This is the way how exactly you are going to set up the dashboard for your Jenkins. It is your Jenkins dashboard. Which dashboard? Correct. Okay, sir. Now, you shown us how to create the Jenkins dashboard. Sir, may I know what is systemctl? It is a command which is gonna be dealing with the services. If you want to interact with any service soon, so you need to use the command systemctl. Okay. You can start the service, you can stop them, you can restart, you can reload. There are a lot of activities we can do with the help of systemctl command. And one more thing, guys, I'm gonna tell you. For example, if you want to know about anything in the Linux environment, if you know a command, but if you don't know what is it and how to use it, there is a command called man. Which command? man system CTL. What is the meaning of this? Man stands for manual, and whatever the command you're gonna enter, so based upon that command, it is gonna tell what is the name of the command, what is the synopsis, what is the description. Okay, so system CTL means control the system MD system and service manager. What we discussed, it is gonna control the services in our server. It can start the service, it can stop, and it can do a lot of stuff. So if anybody doesn't know any command in the Linux, no need to go for Google. Directly you can come to the terminal, give the command man, and write the command whatever you want to learn. Is it clear for all of you? You can read a lot of stuff here. If you keep scrolling down, you can see a lot of examples here also, like that. And if you want to quit out of it, you need to use here Q. You'll be coming out of it. Fine. Okay, sir, fine. Here now, after setting the Jenkins dashboard, the first thing you need to know about is job. What is the meaning of job? Means job is used to perform any task. That means if you want to do anything on the Jenkins, if you want to do continuous integration, or if you want to do continuous delivery, or if you want to do continuous deployment, whatever the work you want to do, the basic thing you need to have is job. Okay. To do any task in the Jenkins, we need to create a job. So if you go and see here, are you seeing the new item here? You can click here to create a job, or even you can click here to create a job. You can go anyways. Click on new item. Name of the job will be, for example, I'm giving it as job 1. What I'm giving? But you can give whatever the job you want. And here, coming to the types here, you have freestyle jobs, you have pipeline jobs, you have multi-configuration, you have folders, you have multi-branch, you have organization. There are n type of jobs in the Jenkins. But initially, for the user friendly, I'm going to show you how to use freestyle. Later, I'm going to show you how to go with pipeline. Why? Because if I directly show you pipeline, you won't get anything. Why? Because pipeline requires some prerequisite to understand. To write the script actually, you need to understand what is CI in a practical way. That is the reason, first of all, for a user friendly, I'm going and explain you how to write the freestyle. So click on freestyle and click on OK. The moment if you click on freestyle here, you can go here. Now, what is our requirement as per the previous example? If you go to before CI and after CI, sir, in before continuous integration, what happened here? Developers will push the code to GitHub. So integration is different, testing is different, which result lot of time wastage, manual process. But after continuous integration, this is going to be done with the server. Now this server can build and test the application. But if I want to build and test the application, I need to get the code from GitHub or not, sir? So all of you know what is our GitHub actually. If you go to my GitHub, there is a repository called DevOps Beraham. There is a folder called Jenkins Java project. That is a repository what we are going to use for our project. Okay. So currently I'm on like a Shravani account. Let me sign out of it and I'll log into my account. Go and see here, like my repository will be DevOps Beraham account. I mean, last class I given you the repository, right? In the last session. So same repository we're gonna use now. Okay. So the repository name is Jenkins Java project. Are you seeing the code here? Copy this code. I think all of you know how to copy. So now go to the console, and in the console you need to give like this. So in the console I'm gonna give like this. Sir, your source code management tool is Git. Select the Git and give the repository URL. After giving the repository URL, currently our repo is public or private, sir? Public or private? Public. The reason why I put public means you need to use the same repository. If I make it private, how can you use? That is the reason I put it as public. After that, sir, if repository is public, do we need to give credentials? Public repository can be clonable. Okay. Second, coming to the branches, currently my source code is on which branch? So you need to mention here master. For example, if source code is not on my master, if source code is on a branch called ABC, put ABC here. No, sir, my source code is on a branch called main branch. Put here main. So you need to mention where exactly your source code is present. So as of now, my source code is on master. So directly I can go and give the master. Correct. And coming to the next step here, add build step. Okay, in the build step, you need to go here and click on execute shell. What is execute shell means? If you want to run the Linux commands in the Jenkins, you need to use the concept called execute shell. Which one? Execute shell will be running the Linux commands in the Jenkins server. That is what exactly I have written here. If you can go and see. To run the commands, we need to select the execute shell on the build step. Okay. So here I have given the process. Select the new item. Name of the job can be ABC. Freestyle. Okay. Source code. What is the source code here? Git. And the repository URL means you need to give this repository URL. Next, coming to the build step, click on add build step. You need to click on execute shell. What is the command we can use to create the artifacts or MVN clean package? Already we discussed this command, right? If I use MVN clean package, that is gonna delete the old builds and create the new build very freshly. Give the command MVN clean package. That's it. Again, I'll explain for you. So in the source code management section, select your Git and give the repository URL. By default, the branch will be master. And you got the code. You want to build it, you want to test it, you want to convert into artifact. So you need to run the command. To run the command, go for build step, select execute shell and give the command MVN clean package. That's it. Now if we go and click on save, if I click on build now means running the job. The moment if I click on build now, automatically from this GitHub, this course will be taken to the Jenkins server. It is gonna give the command MVN clean package. Click on the background process. In that blue color, are you seeing the background process or not, sir? Is compiling running now? You can see the build got success. You can see here, you are building a var file. What you are building here? Where you are building the var file? In the space called var lib jenkins workspace, name of the job called job one. And here target section. Are you seeing target here? Inside target, are you seeing var file here? Yes. Let me go and show you. Remember this path. Var lib jenkins workspace, name of the job. Let me go here. CD var lib jenkins workspace. What is the name of the job? Job one. Inside the target folder, or is the Netflix var file here? That means in previous session, complete work we have done from the CLI method. But now I'm configuring everything on GUI and I'm just clicking on build now. Automatically the code is taking, it is building, it is testing, it is creating the artifact. Correct or not, sir? Yes. Now tell me one thing. What is the definition of continuous integration? Continuous build, continuous test. What I'm continuously building and testing? Old code with new code. For example, day one is done. Now in day two, developer is trying to add the new code. See, in day two, for example, developer is trying to add some new code to my repository. Go for web apps, go for index.jsp. Click on edit this file. So now instead of version 10, I'm going to put as version number 11, for example. Commit the file. Now tell me, developer has changed the source code or not, sir? If developer changes source code, again, if I click on build now, automatically the new code will come to the Jenkins server. It will build, it will test again. See, the new code is taking by the Jenkins server. Already we configured in the source code management section. There we have given the repository URL. From that URL, source will come. It is gonna build, it's gonna test. So now version number 11 is done with the building and testing. So again in upcoming days, he is gonna modify some other source code. Instead of 11, now I'm gonna put 12 here. Again, I'll click on commit changes. Now tell me, do I have new code or not, sir? Now as a DevOps engineer, once the source code got changed, I already configured my repository here. So no need to configure. So if I click on build now, automatically the new code will come from this repository. It is gonna build, it is gonna test. So this is what we can call as continuous integration. Continuous integration means continuous build plus continuous what you are building and testing. Old code with once developer changes source code on GitHub, what we can do? We directly come to the Jenkins server. We click on build now. You can ask me, sir, how the new code will come? Already we configured the repository in the backend or not, sir? If we go here in the configuration section, already this repository, whatever you are trying to change the source code, it is configured here. So if we do any changes here in the repository, it will come to Jenkins server automatically. And automatically Jenkins can perform the building and testing part. That's it. So this is the way how you are going to create the continuous integration job. Now I'm going to delete this project and I'm going to show you one more time how to create it freshly. Now this time you tell me how to create the job and how to configure the CI. First of all, click on new item. Item name will be, let me take job to what I need to select freestyle and click on OK. So now coming to the SCM section, what I need to select Git. So I need to give the URL. And one more thing, already this URL I have given for the nodes. Even you can take the same URL. Okay, I'm taking the URL from there. So do I need credentials here? Why no? Public repo. But if it is private, we need to give the credentials. Next, branch. Currently our source code is on which branch? So I need to mention here master. By default, it is going to be master. But if your source code is on main branch, what you need to mention here? Correct. So now you get the source code. Now to do the building and testing, you need to run the mvn clean package. So to run commands in the terminal, what I need to do here, click on build step, click on execute shell. Which goal we need to run now? mvn clean. So this goal will run automatically. So click on build now. Automatically Jenkins will take the code. It can do build, it can do test. It is going to create the artifact. And whatever the artifact that we got now, that is we are going to store in the Nexus server. Where we going to store in? From the Nexus, we are directly going to deploy the application to the Tomcat server. That is the process in the upcoming days. But as of now, this is the beginning process of the Jenkins. Just how to do the continuous integration. So now tell me, is the concept of continuous integration clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm me, is the concept of implementing continuous integration practically clear for all of you or not? All of you, can you please confirm in chat box once? Great. Guys, if you go to real time also, same way of implementation will be there. But there are some changes. Here we are using some reference source code, but in real time source code will be big and it is going to be private repo. But the configuration will remain same. Of course, you are going to do a lot of configuration, but we are on stage 1 only. So gradually I'm going to show you stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. By the end of the Jenkins, you can write pipeline for any of the source code in the real time. That's it. Yes, Ram, we are going to install both Jenkins and Maven in the same server. Already I shown you in the session starting. You can get them from both of the same place. Okay, sir, fine then now. If we go to here, if I click on this build number 1, okay, if I click on this build number 1, you can get all of this option, console output, build information and everything. Let me show them. If I click on build number 1, you can see console output. Console output means like what output you got for that build. You can see something called as workspace. What you can see here? Sir, what is the meaning of workspace? Means the place where you store your output of the job. That is what we can call as workspace. Here you can go and see workspace means where your job output is going to be stored. By default, workspace in Jenkins is going to be varlib Jenkins. That is the default workspace. But in real time, we don't use default workspace. We use custom workspace. What we can use? Custom workspace means storing the job output on our. Remember, in real time, default workspace, you're not going to prefer. We can use custom workspace. Custom workspace means I create one folder. In that folder only, my job output is going to be stored. Currently, if we can go and see. So it is like I'm on my home path. But if I want to get the var file, I need to go to var lib Jenkins workspace. Name of the job will be job2. In the target section, you are having the var file. So very big path or not, sir? But I want my data to be presenting on my home folder only. For example, currently I'm on which path? root path. I'll create mkdir folder called raham. I'll go to cd raham. Now give pwd. That means pwd stand for present working directory or print working directory. Sir, whatever the output that I'm going to get from job number 2, I want that output to be stored on the root raham folder. So in that case, what you can do is copy this path, go to the Jenkins configuration. In the job 2, are you seeing configuration section? In the configure, just to go for the advanced details. In the advanced, are you seeing use custom workspace? Click here and give this path. Now automatically if I click on save and if I click on build now, the output is going to be failed now. What is going to happen? What happened? Fail. You know why it got failed? Click on the red color symbol. See, if you click on the green color symbol or red color symbol, you are going to see the output of the job actually. It got failed. Why? Because you have the access denied. What we got? Sir, currently you want to store the output on the root raham folder. But for the root raham folder, we don't have Jenkins permission. If Jenkins want to store the output on that folder, Jenkins need to have user and group permission for that. So how to give the user and group permission for that? Means see, I have given here step-by-step process. Go to the root path here, cd slash, give the command chown. Chown stand for ownership. I want to give Jenkins user, Jenkins group permission for the root folder. Of course, apart from root, I have one more folder called raham also. So give this one. So these both commands I have given. These commands are responsible for making the Jenkins permission for the root folder and inside root raham. The moment if I give both of these commands and if I click on build now, automatically my output is going to store on raham folder. Just go and check, is it working now? If I go here in the workspace starting, what is my current workspace? Root. But previously it was varlib Jenkins. Okay, so if I go to my folder called root raham, cd slash root raham, you can go and check here. Are you seeing source and target? Inside target, are you seeing the var file here? That's it. So this is the way how exactly you are going to implement the custom workspace. So custom workspace means storing the job output in your desired location. For that purpose, first of all, create a folder, go to the home path and give Jenkins permission. Remember, chown stand for the ownership permission. You need to give Jenkins user and Jenkins group permission for the root folder as well as raham folder also. But if you don't give that permission, is Jenkins going to store your output on your custom workspace? No, that's it. So this is the concept for today's session. In today's class, we've seen what is intro of Jenkins, what is CI/CD, okay, and what is meaning of pipeline and how to create the Jenkins server and practical implementation of continuous integration. So now before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you today? Is it clear for all of you? Have you got the clarity? Online, can you please confirm me? How's the class for all of you today? Can you please confirm me in chat box once? It was clear. Great. Fine. Great. So guys, from today onwards, our DevOps work is going to be started. Okay. So till now, whatever you learn, Git and Maven are the prerequisite. Of course, we don't work on there much. Of course, we have only small works there. But when it comes to the Jenkins part, your actual DevOps work will start from this point itself. But of course, we can use Git to store the manifest file, YAML file, and Docker files. I'll explain what are them in the upcoming days for you. Fine. So now let's go for the interview question first of all, then we can come back to the doubts and queries part. So in the interview question, my first question is, what is CI/CD? Continuous integration. Explain that. What is continuous integration? Continuous build plus test. What you are building and testing? Old code with New code. Tell me one thing, to do the continuous integration, how many tools you want? Two, what are those? Tell me, what are those? Git and man will be a common. Jenkins is the third one. Okay, without Jenkins, how can you do CA? Okay. And coming to CD, CD will be having how many definitions? Two. What are those? Continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Tell me what is the difference between delivery versus deployment? Delivery means process of deploying the application to production in manual method. Deployment means process of deploying the application to production in automatic. Correct. So what is pipeline? Step by step executing of a process or series of events interlinked with each other. So explain the pipeline process to deploy the application. Code, compile, build, test, artifact, deploy. Correct. So what is the best usage of pipeline? Means, see, with the pipeline, we can automate any process. Not only this deployment, we can do lot of stuff with the pipelines, which I'm explaining on the upcoming days. What we can do with the pipelines. And explain about Jenkins. What are the first three lines? Tell me first of all. It's a free and open source. Platform independent. It is very important tool in the DevOps. Now tell me whatever you know. It was given by Oopsa. It was given by Java. Na? It is written on Java, but I'm asking who given the Jenkins? Salman Khan. Somebody says it's a Kosuke Kawagachi, okay? Okay. I mean, of course, like you are saying the company name, okay? But I heard about Salman, okay? Fine. So it was given by Kosuke Kawagachi by the Sun Microsystem. What is the port number of Jenkins? 8080, correct. And coming to the next point here about this workspace. What is a workspace and how to create the custom workspace? First of all, workspace is nothing but to store the output of the job. What is the default workspace? Where lib Jenkins workspace. How to create your custom workspace? First of all, create a folder, give the permission and configure in the job. That's it. Okay. So this is the day one of stuff for the Jenkins. So now apart from this, if you are having any queries over today's session, you can ask me. Online, you can raise your hand and offline, you can ask me now. But before that, a question from Swati sir, can you please say in which class AWS setup has been discussed? I want to refer. I think in day 5 of our demo, Swati. So if you please go to the day 5 of the demo, you can see the AWS setup there. Like how to create the account. Day 5 or day 6 mostly. Okay. So guys, any queries from your end? First of all. Explain community support. As we discussed, community support means some people without expecting any money, they can contribute to the development of Jenkins. For example, if I create the Jenkins continuous integration server, it doesn't mean only I need to maintain, even you can also maintain it. That is what we can call as community support, like Vasanta. And one more thing, already as we discussed, so your next class will be on Tuesday. So tomorrow, like I am leaving to my hometown. So Sunday is a common holiday and Monday is going to be like Bakrid festival. Na? So next session will be on Tuesday. So please make sure. So online, we don't have a session for tomorrow session. Fine. Sir, when I created AWS account instance type, I didn't get T2 micro. So basically Durga, so if you see your current region, based upon the region, it is going to change from T2 to T3. For example, currently I'm on Northern Virginia, I can see T2, but if you are in Singapore or California, T3 will come. So please make sure your current region, like whatever you are seeing now. And Mallikarjuna, how can I get videos? So if you want videos, like I think you need to pay some additional amount for it. So please ping to the admin, okay? He's gonna share you. We do labs on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, nobody is gonna available here like Vasanta, but Saturday you can contact admins, okay? I mean, like our mentors will be there. I think I have given the virtual lab mentors IDs, right? If you go to Zoom, if you type that ID, our mentors are going to connect with you, okay? You can speak and you can communicate with them regarding your doubts and queries. Bhushan sir, explain how to configure all traffic in EC2. So Bhushan, this we seen lot of times. In today also I said you 2 times, but of course if you missed it, let me show you. If you go to instance here, in the launch instance section, select whatever you want. So in AMI, like select whatever you want. But if you want to configuring all traffic, click on edit. Instead of SSH, put here. That's it. Hope it is clear for you. And one more thing, give your name for security group. So make it as all traffic. Why? Because every time if you want to give all traffic, it is not possible. Once you create a security group now, you can reuse them in the upcoming servers. Hope it is clear for you, Bhushan. Example of community support is IBM. Since it's a production database company, any issues? Yeah, definitely. Like there are a lot of things we can explain with the community support. Even Kubernetes will be there. Even Helm charts will be there, like which is more advanced now. Those are also going to have a lot of community supports. So Mallikarjuna, you need to contact regarding this with the admins only. Why? Because I don't have any like linking with the payment and everything. Okay, so videos, Google Classroom access, everything they need to send you. Why? Because I don't have access to send you. If I have, I can send it directly for you. T3 also fine, Durga, but make sure it is free tier eligible. Okay. Sir, when is your next batch going to start? It is a common question that I am getting from every day. Next batch, I think I am expecting by this month 20th, 19th. Even I don't know when it is going to start. No, no, like if you know, tell me. Even I don't know actually. Hmm. Have you contacted the admin officer? కింద పోస్ట్ చేస్తారా నాకు తెలియకుండానే ట్రస్ట్ మీ ఈవెన్ ఐ డోంట్ నో లైక్ ట్రైనర్ నేమ్ ఇస్ వాట్ దేర్ యూ సీన్ ద డెవాప్స్ బట్ ట్రైనర్ నేమ్ నీడ్ టు బి దేర్ ఫైన్ టుమారో ల్యాబ్ యాక్సెస్ అవైలబుల్ యా ల్యాబ్ విల్ బి అవైలబుల్ ఫ్రమ్ లైక్ మండే టు సాటర్డే and Durga sir also in VIM mode to come out of it you said Q it's not working when I saw on Google it's updated to no basically colon Q is also going to work this Q factorial is nothing but forceful quitting okay. If you want to quit forcefully, you need to use the exclamator or factorial symbol. Jenkins install with .var also. Which one is best practice? So basically .var means if you want to install on the Windows machine, you can go with .var. Or of course in Linux also .var is going to be support. But I will suggest to go with this standard method only, Vikram. Okay. But in real time, with the help of Helm charts, we can do it very easily. Without installing anything, we can directly run the Helm chart. Sahu, like I think I cleared your doubt, so I can lower your hand. And who want to speak here? Like someone raised hand. Ismail, like you want to speak? Huh? Yep, I'll be giving. Hussein, you can go ahead now.
Hello. Hello.
Hussein, are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Are you?
Please go ahead. I can hear you. Again, you want to mute.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Sir, the reason I'm talking to you, telling you is like you are telling to talk to admin, but the admin is not ready to talk to us, sir. We are like I'm trying to contact him from the past 5 days to get your class and like the Google Classroom link and everything.
Thank you. Have you filled that like sheet, Hussein?
Sorry.
Sheet. Have you filled the sheet actually?
Yeah, he sent me like yesterday, sir, and the sheet and everything.
Okay.
So I was like trying to connect with him from like the past almost like 1 week now. So he was not even answering my calls. Like, I don't know, he suck at his job, sir. To be honest with you, I'm sorry to use this language, but like, there's nothing I can say because I have like wasted my time for all this time, and I have like missed your classes for the whole 1 week. I have to apply for the internships and all. For the I live in US, sir. I can't match the timings and everything to meet the classes, but still I'm trying to do because of you, sir. Because I heard a lot of you, and my a lot of my friends are your ex students and everything.
Students,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the reason I'm doing.
Yeah, I got your concern, Hussein, but see, like, even there is nothing on from my side actually. Why? Because like these admins will stay on some other place, and I'll take on some other place. Like if there's like if these people are in front of me, like I can ask them to do it immediately. Even though like every time, like I am saying, like please close the pending things as soon as possible. He's saying that I am closing, but like he's telling
Yeah,
that after you are filling that form, he's not getting any replication of your details in the Google Classroom actually. That's what the major concern. But like by
I
Monday, like everything is gonna be
I
secure.
understand,
I'll speak
sir.
with the like
Like
higher
you
officials
told
regarding
me,
this.
like you told us to
Hmm.
pay the payment in the two like in a payment plan or something, right, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
I told him like I can't send the whole money from here, sir, actually. Because like
Okay.
first thing, if I send the whole money, like the bank is not allowing us because of the
Okay.
election were going on recently. So I sent the half payment with the videos like 8,000 rupees from here, and still the bank holded my money for like 2 days.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. And but like I sent him the money. I told him, look, I'll send the money. Money is the not the issue over here. I'll pay you for like on the next week, coming week, and something. I explained him, and guess what he said, sir? He said like I asked him for the recordings and all, and no secret, sir. So I asked him the like the recordings and everything, and he's sending me the message where he's saying pay the whole money. I It's like I'm talking to a wall, sir. Please
Okay.
like look into this matter because because of this a lot of not me because a lot of students are facing the same issue, I guess.
Okay, okay. So I'll speak with them like Ismail. But like installment wise, what you can do is first of all like 5,000 for the course you can pay, but like for the recordings, I think you need to pay like whole money at a single time. But for the rest of the amount, like if you take the only course now, you can take it on two installments. So what I can suggest is first of all pay 5,000 for the course and like recording amount you need to pay at a single time. I think so. Why? Because these are the terms and conditions that is gonna be like put by management. So I'll speak with them. Okay. If it is on my hand,
So
definitely I
you
can
have
take any
to
immediate action
explain,
on
no,
this.
sir. You
Yeah.
have to explain. I could have arranged from somewhere, but he was telling me the whole amount. How could I send money is not the issue, sir. My
Yeah, yeah.
issue is the
I got
bank
your
and the
concern. Yeah.
holding.
Sure, Ismail. Definitely, I'm gonna take some action on
So
it. Okay.
that's the
I'll
reason I
intimate to higher
asked.
authorities.
Yeah, so that's the reason I asked when is your like the next batch coming, so that I can join and in the meanwhile I can just whatever the demos and everything I have from yours, I can just like practice it and whatever the next batch I'll like straight join into that batch.
Sure,
And
sure, definitely.
meanwhile I
So
can.
next batch is gonna start within few days only. I'll definitely call you. Okay. So please like keep in touch with me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Sure, Kiran. I'll just speak with admin like right away. Like I said him a lot of times, but I'm not sure like why these people are not responding. But I'll go with it. Okay. Okay then. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining. So let's meet on your Tuesday session. So I will meet again. Bye. Thank you.